Emily and James, a young couple in love, decided to leave the bustling city life behind. They longed for peace, tranquility, and the charm of a close-knit community. Their search led them to Ashwood, a picturesque town nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows. Ashwood seemed like the perfect place to start their new chapter. Among the quaint Victorian houses, one stood out: Ashwood Manor. The house had seen better days, its paint peeling and the garden overgrown, but it exuded an undeniable charm. Intrigued, Emily and James stepped inside, their footsteps echoing in the silent halls. The house was spacious, with high ceilings and large windows that promised sunlight-filled days. They felt an instant connection and knew this was where they belonged. The first few days in Ashwood Manor were idyllic. Emily and James spent their time unpacking boxes, arranging furniture, and making the house their own. Laughter filled the once silent rooms as they shared meals in the grand dining room and cozy evenings by the fireplace in the living room. The house seemed to come alive with their presence, basking in the warmth of their love and laughter. They explored the town, charmed by its friendly residents and quaint shops. The locals welcomed them with open arms, sharing stories of Ashwood's rich history and traditions. Emily and James felt a sense of belonging they had never experienced before. Life in Ashwood was everything they had ever dreamed of. They were home. As the days turned into weeks, a subtle shift occurred in the atmosphere of Ashwood Manor. It began with whispers, soft and indistinct, seemingly carried on the breeze that rustled through the old house. Emily would catch snippets of conversations, hushed voices that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Shadows seemed to dance at the edges of her vision, fleeting glimpses of movement that vanished as quickly as they appeared. James, at first skeptical, began to notice strange occurrences as well. Objects would be misplaced, moved from where they had left them. Doors creaked open in the dead of night, as if an unseen hand were passing through the house. Fear began to take root in their hearts, a creeping dread that intensified with each passing day. Determined to get to the bottom of the strange happenings, James set up a camera in the living room, hoping to capture evidence of whatever was plaguing their home. They left for the weekend, seeking solace in the company of friends, but their minds were never far from Ashwood Manor. Upon their return, they eagerly reviewed the footage. Their blood ran cold as they witnessed a dark figure, barely discernible in the grainy footage, moving across the living room. The figure seemed to glide through the air, its form shifting and swirling like smoke. There was no denying it now. Ashwood Manor was haunted. Section 5. Fleeing the shadows. Terror gripped their hearts, driving them from their beloved home. They packed a few essential belongings, leaving behind the life they had so carefully built. As they drove away from Ashwood Manor, Emily glanced back at the house, its windows dark and lifeless. A chill ran down her spine, a feeling of being watched that lingered long after they had left. They sought refuge in a hotel room. The sterile environment, a stark contrast to the warmth and character of Ashwood Manor. Sleep offered no escape. Emily's dreams haunted by fleeting images of shadowy figures and whispered conversations. They were safe for now, but the shadow of Ashwood Manor loomed large over them. Section 6. Haunted Dreams and Distant Screams. That night, Emily's sleep was troubled by vivid dreams. She found herself transported to a grand ball taking place within the walls of Ashwood Manor. The air was filled with music and laughter, the scent of perfume and candle wax. Strangers in elegant attire, their faces blurred and indistinct, waltzed around her. Their laughter turned to screams as the ballroom suddenly grew cold, the music replaced by an eerie silence. Emily awoke with a gasp, her heart pounding in her chest. The dream felt real, the echoes of distant screams still ringing in her ears. She felt an overwhelming sense of sadness, a deep and profound grief that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the hotel room. She couldn't shake off the feeling that the dream was more than just a figment of her imagination. Section 7. Unmasking the Ghosts of Ashwood. Driven by a need for answers, Emily and James returned to Ashwood Manor. They cautiously entered the house, each creak and groan of the old structure setting their nerves on edge. They made their way to the attic, hoping to find some explanation for the strange occurrences that had driven them from their home. Amidst the dust-covered furniture and forgotten relics, they stumbled upon a trunk tucked away in a dark corner. Inside they discovered a collection of old diaries, their pages brittle with age. The diaries belonged to the previous occupants of Ashwood Manor, a family torn apart by tragedy. The entries spoke of a love betrayed, a family shattered by grief, and a darkness that had descended upon the house. Section 8. Bound by Tragedy. As Emily and James delved deeper into the diaries, they pieced together the tragic story of the family who had once called Ashwood Manor home. They learned of a forbidden love, a jealous rage, and a series of unfortunate events that had left the family broken and their spirits trapped within the walls of the house. The whispers, the shadows, the dark figure captured on camera, it all started to make sense. The ghosts of Ashwood Manor were not malevolent entities, but rather lost souls seeking solace and release from the chains of their past. They were bound to the house by their unfinished business, by the weight of their sorrow and regret. Section 9. Farewell to Ashwood. Emily and James made a decision. They couldn't stay in Ashwood Manor, not while the spirits of the past still lingered. They packed their belongings, this time taking everything with them, erasing any trace of their presence in the house. As they drove away, they made a pact to honor the memory of the family who had once lived and loved within the walls of Ashwood Manor. They left the house behind, but the experience stayed with them, a haunting reminder that some wounds run deeper than time. And so Ashwood Manor stood silent once more, its secrets buried within its walls, a testament to the enduring power of love, loss, and the ghosts of our past.